In a digital world where perfection is algorithmic, we crave the glitch, the whisper of human touch buried in code. The illusion of authenticity isn't accidental, it's engineered. From Instagram filters that smooth skin without erasing life to auto, tune-turned effect rather than correction tool. These aren't flaws, but design decisions. We don't just want media to look real. We need it to feel real. Because when everything is too clean, we lose our sense of trust. And in a world already swimming with content, this isn't just aesthetic engineering, it's psychological programming. We are trained to read imperfection as authenticity, so when machines fake it, they don't just mimic, they manipulate. The problem is not that we can be fooled into thinking a filter is flesh or an algorithm has souls. It's that we stop knowing how to trust either in the first place. Authenticity becomes another product, and we become customers of our own sincerity.
How Text 1948, Custom Innovation, read of narrative structure as.
Photography was once heralded as the most honest of art forms, an unmediated window into reality. But even then, its truth claims were performative. Bathers called this phenomenon that has been, a sense that photographs carry with them the aura of their origin, a physical trace of where and when they were made. Yet, almost as soon as photography became common, it began selling itself back to us in carefully curated forms, staged portraits, airbrushed landscapes, propaganda images. The more we demanded truth from cameras, they had to work to mimic authenticity. Scientists in the mid-20th century obsessed over eliminating variation, striving for perfect color accuracy, noise, free transmission. But just as they reached that ideal, consumer culture rebelled against it. People didn't want flawless color, they wanted warmth. The very precision of mass reproduction made imperfection desirable again, a paradox that would repeat with every new medium to come. What was once considered error became personality.
The farmer tills his fields today as his ancestors did in ages past. The people of the valley come and go.
Just this week, a short film titled Dreams of Violets made headlines for being entirely AI generated, produced in just 2 months at a cost of only $2,000. The director claims it's proof that Hollywood is now vulnerable to disruption from anywhere with an internet connection and a good API key. But the real story isn't about efficiency or democratization. It's about how convincingly machines can now mimic not just technique, but emotional nuance. Shaky cameras, off-screen whispers. Each becomes a moving target. Let's talk about SHEP-TCHA. What began as a simple test, identifying wobbly letters, has become an absurd performance of humanness, reduced to checking boxes and solving puzzles, like we're completing a video game level for the privilege of being real. The irony is not lost on anyone who's ever sat there, trying to remember if they are in fact a robot or just tired. These mechanisms rely on outdated assumptions about cognition. That visual recognition alone makes us human against the very flaws it mimics. We return to a voiceover about conquering the unknown and unlimited potential. Words that now feel eerily like self-fulfilling prophecies. The speaker talks of building tools for progress without asking what happens when those tools outgrow their makers, or worse, turn around to judge them. This is where we are now, in a feedback loop, where machines spoof human imperfection and humans build better spoofs to detect the first. Authenticity becomes not just commodified, but weaponized.
Then to check dye and fabric colors, and check them accurately and scientifically, there's the spectrophotometer. This instrument can detect and record more than 2 million different colors.
We once believed authenticity was something you could feel, a texture, an edge that machines couldn't replicate. But now we live in a world where even nostalgia is curated by algorithms. The tools that once helped us preserve tradition are the same ones flattening it into data. What does it mean when our longing for the past becomes just another input for a machine to optimize? If authenticity itself has become a function of code, then what's real anymore? As we watch these people preserve their rituals, let it dawn on you. They're acting out what feels real to them. Now think of how we do the same thing with our digital lives. We scroll through curated feed after curated feed and call that natural. We're not just losing authenticity. We've stopped believing it exists at all. The past is now a resource, mined for aesthetic and sentiment without context or consequence. Neil Postman warned that technopoly would make all alternatives invisible, not just to our eyes, but to our minds. He was right. The more we rely on machines to tell us what's real, the less capacity we have to question it. Authenticity isn't just faked anymore. It's rendered irrelevant by its own simulation. If authenticity is an algorithmic output, then what remains that cannot be faked? That depends. But first, are you even sure there is anything left